It's recording now,
Can
Caleb.
you hear?
Are we live?
We're as live as we're gonna be.
We're recording. We're not live.
Yeah, we're as live as we're gonna be. Wait, so
Can you hit your clapboard?
you ready?
Let me try something here.
Go for it.
All right.
Can you hit your clapboard before you do anything?
Yes. Clapboard. What do you mean by that?
That thing.
The clapboard, bro.
That's the word.
Capo?
The clap.
No,
the
the
clapboard.
thing. The thing.
Oh, we're not live yet.
We're not live at all. Get a good loud clap.
All right, here we go.
Pick that bad boy up.
3, 2.
Oh, that was good. That was
Okay.
good. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Take one.
What you
What song
got?
is this? Guess that tune.
I have
All
no
right, I messed
idea.
up. I didn't remember the song.
Okay, that's it.
Wow. Just do it with your reverb.
Is this
now.
a Christian song? Is this a worldly people
Oh,
song?
play that one that we learned on at the frat house.
The frat house.
It's a wedding frat house.
Oh, back in the day?
Like
Oh, the frat house. Oh, the frat house.
last weekend.
I got you. I got you.
Is that the song?
No.
I was like, y'all were playing this?
Oh, it's not that?
Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, the other one that we did on guitar tabs at the table.
Oh, I don't remember it.
G G G G G G
Oh.
G G G G G G G G G.
Dude, I don't remember.
Oh,
What
gosh.
song is it?
Hey, Yellow by Coldplay.
Oh, look at the stars.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome
Welcome.
everyone to our Candid intro. Thank you, Caleb, for
Name that tune with Caleb.
Yeah, name that tune with Caleb. We'll
Hey, we out
maybe
here.
we'll take suggestions for
Yeah.
like,
we could
future.
we're open to
And-
what it could look like.
Yeah.
Thanks for holding my microphone, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, bro, I feel like Moses right now.
I'm going to unplug this. Is this
Aaron
gonna
or
happen?
her.
It's gonna probably plop.
Sorry, y'all. Just do it. Just go for it.
There we go.
I could have done something about it.
It's okay. The people will live.
All right, well,
It's not that big a deal.
I say we welcome them again.
All right.
Ready?
That's your job.
Well, welcome everybody. Oh, sorry.
You said it wrong.
What did I say?
It's welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Apparently, I say welcome. It's supposed to be welcome, but that's the challenge one has when they speak multiple languages.
Hey, come on. Bilingual.
Trilingual, yo.
¿Qué es el otro lengua?
He's gonna claim Morocco. Don't do it.
Wait, what?
I thought you were gonna claim Morocco.
No, I
Otra lengua?
speak fluent. I speak Darija too, a little bit.
What is
Shwee.
that?
A little bit of Arabic.
I have no idea whether or
I
not
just
that's
know
accurate.
words.
I don't know
I just
Arabic.
know words.
Okay.
But 3 languages fluent, so
So Caleb
It's
is
a challenge.
trilingual, if anyone was curious.
yeah.
Go for
This
it.
is since it's our first episode. This is Caleb.
Yes. Sorry, Caleb Sanchez here.
Yeah, and this is
Are we saying
Jem.
last names?
this is
Oh,
Jim.
no
No,
last name. You don't need to know where I'm at or how to find me. My name
And
is
who are you?
What did I say on the pilot?
Al,
Al. Yes, I'm Al. I'm
Right.
Al.
also known as Adrian.
Adrian what?
Also known as Adrian.
Yeah. Producer Al.
Oh, man.
Caleb is breaking all the rules.
I'm breaking all the rules right now.
Just so everyone knows, we set some rules like in the past 2 pilots. And
They don't wanna know all that,
Yeah, the
bro.
beginning of this audio is going to have a nice buzz that's going to bug Caleb, but it's okay. It's over now. It's because he unplugged his guitar without me turning down the channel. But we'll
It's
survive.
okay.
What was I talking about?
You said your name was Al, and that's where we started.
Yeah.
And that the past 2 pilots. And
Yeah. Anyways, here we
Welcome.
go. Welcome.
So you might be wondering, what are we doing here?
we are too.
Why are you here? Let me just cast some vision for us.
Go. What you
So
got?
why are we here? Why are you here? Well, first off, thank you for being here. This is just, group of 3 friends here just trying to have some fun
Yeah.
and have organic, natural conversations about stuff.
Things. Yeah. We don't know what those things are.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember now.
Okay. It came
Adrian,
back.
tell
Go.
us.
Yeah. Okay. We set ground rules.
Oh.
And the ground rules were: don't open your soda can into the microphone, take big gulps into the microphone, right? And then to turn your phone on do not disturb. So like
I actually didn't do that.
in the vault of pilots that exist before our now first episode, we've done a pretty good job of consistently
Not doing any of those things.
breaking all of those rules.
We're growing. We're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning. Yeah.
So
We're humble along the way.
Yeah.
Like Jim's hat.
It says,
Oh, yeah.
Be
If you
humble.
can't see, my hat says be humble.
Be humble. Come on.
It's
I
more of
thought
a
that-
reminder to me.
I thought the H was silent.
Be humble.
I don't know.
Cast your votes.
God is
Humble or humble. Either one.
Yeah, cast your votes. Let us know.
Humble, Texas.
This is true.
Yeah, well,
Well-
just for our today's sponsors, God,
We see you, Lord.
and yeah. Anyways, there's no sponsors, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, not
Actually,
yet.
Adrian, he's one of our sponsors.
Basically.
I paid just so I can be here today. So, if you want me to show up, I'll pay you.
You
Apparently.
gotta send coins. What's your cash app?
Yeah.
Zelle, Venmo.
Yeah.
Man,
So-
well, all in seriousness,
Uh-huh.
thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Jim, tell us why we're here.
All
What
right.
are we doing today?
So today we're going to be talking about friendship,
Oh,
and all that entails.
Friends are
So we wanted to say friendship philosophy, but Adrian, you want to talk about whether or not we're going to use friendship philosophy, Caleb?
the word philosophy.
Yeah. So, for this episode, it's we're talking about our philosophies and approach to friendship. That's what me and Jim are gonna talk about. Caleb doesn't want to use the word philosophy.
Just sounds so intense.
It's intense and deep, and so Caleb's going to be talking about his social
Contracts.
social contract, perspective, intuition, guide to how he feels about relationships,
Friends.
yeah,
Long-term friends, I guess.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
So, what you got?
yeah. Well, I want to hear what Jim. Let's kick it off with Jim, ladies first.
Yeah.
What is your philosophy on friendship?
My philosophy on friendship. I would say it's the golden rule, essentially. Treating people the way that you want to be treated. I feel like being the type of friend to people that you would want them to be to you. But also recognizing that people feel loved differently. So part of that is knowing your friends and knowing how they actually feel loved and receive love. Because even though you may feel one way about something, that might not necessarily be how they feel loved. So I don't know. I guess getting to know the people that you're in friendship with so that you can love them well. That's my friendship philosophy.
I like that.
We'll see.
I like
For now.
that. Okay.
What about you, Caleb? Well, your friendship perspective.
Friendship perspective. I just think someone who's there for you, someone who is able to help you get out of the hard moments, or if you're in your dark moments or whatever, someone who's able to pull you out of those and kind of encourage you and remind you who you are, and I don't know. I think those. I would just think that too. Just one aspect of friendship, I guess. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What you got?
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
I'd say my friendship philosophy is I guess my approach is just thinking of how can I love this person well? How can I support them and what they want? And I don't know, as you were talking, I was thinking about when I was in school and studying communications, about just the sender receiver thing that happens when you communicate with people, and just like
What is that?
it's like a message is sent, and by
Okay.
the sender,
Makes sense.
and just like
Yeah.
kind of like that ongoing exchange that happens in a friendship, and just that perspective that it's two ways, you know, and just making sure that I'm doing my part to just support and love the other person as best as I can, and taking inventory on that. I don't know. Friendship should be rooted in love, and that's my
true.
philosophy.
I just want to add to that too. Like I feel like friendships, it should be fun. You know.
Yeah.
This is
I feel like
true.
friends,
Yeah, if your friendships
friends have
ain't-
fun, you
if
know?
your
If it's a
friends
drag.
ain't fun,
If it's not fun, then
then ask.
maybe it
why
might
it's
be
not.
one-sided. I don't know. I guess
That's true. That's true.
One-sided. I don't know, but
Unless it's fun for you and not for them, then you're on the right side, I guess.
That doesn't sound good though for some reason.
no, but
don't
I
know.
think it should go both ways. You know,
Yeah.
enjoy
you-
people.
Do you guys feel like friendship, like what it has looked like for you, has changed as you've grown, or like even like going through different life stages, or like what it means for
Yeah.
people to be a friend to you, or for you to be a friend to them?
I don't have friends.
Who are we, Caleb?
I'm just kidding. You guys are friends.
Business partners.
Man, I think over the years, I can't think of a specific scenario, but I just know, like one thing. So I got married 1.5 years ago, which I just
Congrats.
realized I'm not wearing my ring. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'm married.
Caleb's wife, this has nothing to do with us.
Yeah. Anyways, I love my wife. We have a.
Why did I start sweating?
Anyway, all right, move on. Okay. But I think one thing that I noticed when I did get married is, I don't know, and I heard other couples' faces too, is that there's probably like this feeling people get, like where, oh, they're married, let's just like let them be. Let's not like invite them, or it's not like they're married. We don't want to invade their space, but in reality, it's just flip. It's like we want to hang out with people, you know.
Yeah.
So I think realizing that, and then just out of that place being intentional, me as a friend to those people, and be like, hey, just literally let me know when you hang out. Like, let's go do something.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Do you feel like everybody was just like, all right?
I just want to say, like, real quick, that Caleb does a really good job of that. We've had, like, this past couple months, some stretches where, like, we saw each other for, like, consecutive, like, days. A couple times. And it was fun. I guess that's
Yeah.
it
Bromance.
was fun.
It was fun. You know?
Yeah, it's a
We're
good
doing
friendship.
something right, man.
It's a
Wish I
good
had a
friend.
little
Good
tiny
job. Thank you.
violin
Thank
for you
you.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that's one example. I think it just takes intent. I think over the years, as you know, people are moving into different life stages. It just requires being intentional. I know you, Jem, have some really cool stories around being really intentional with friendships. I don't know if you have one in mind.
Being intentional with friendships. I feel like I've had to learn and grow in this area a lot. I take relationships seriously. Like if I'm a friend to someone, I try to take that like very seriously. Because I recognize like people have different, I don't know, people are entering into friendship differently. Like some people have siblings, some people don't. You could have siblings and not necessarily have a good relationship with them, or you could have just had like a really hard time having friends. So I hope friendship with me is easy and fun. But there have been situations or just different times where I've tried to, were you about to say something like, nah, it's real hard out here?
I was gonna say you throw some mad parties.
I was just going to say, it's kind of hard when you're always on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Sorry, no, that was
For
just-
anyone
that was
who
on-
is concerned,
That's a light poke.
my phone stays on D&D. If you're actually friends with me, you would know this, that my phone stays on D&D, so way to go. But that's mainly for me to be present. Y'all,
There
they
you go.
try to take us away all the time. But yeah, just trying to be intentional in my friendships with people. I've set friendship goals with folks. I think I mentioned that, but
As like life seasons, like throughout the years, or
Yes.
like even now and adult?
Yeah,
Young
but this
adults?
is like relatively recent, so I won't
okay.
say that this is something that I've done like every year. It was just recognizing that friendships had changed because of either a marriage or a child or someone moved away or just different things like that. And so like the natural rhythms that we had kind of dissipated a little bit. But still valued wanting to like maintain that level of relationship and friendship. And so we just set a goal. One of them was just getting together like once a month. I think I mentioned that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say something, but just so I don't forget, but I want to come back to this point.
Cool.
Living in this digital age of having friendships,
Uh-huh.
it just reminded me of like my parents. Like my dad's in his 60s, late 60s, and I would ask him, "Hey, do you have any contact with your friends from like high school or college or people you grew up with in your neighborhood as a kid?" And he's like, "I don't like." Like there was like this
Yeah.
total like if I moved away, there's like no communication
Yeah,
no matter how close
that's
you were.
true.
There's like no internet, so there's no way to do
That
it.
is
Or if they
true.
move to a different country, it's like how do we navigate that? But I want to come back to that point because I think
Yeah.
we live in an interesting time where you can have friends move to another side of the world and still connect that way. So,
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, intentionality.
Which is kind of crazy because even like I think about my dad. My dad is 72. Him and my uncle, which is his best friend, they've been best friends since they were in middle school. So this is what, like a 60-year friendship at this point, I guess.
Wow, goals right there. That's awesome.
60-ish, maybe, or something like that.
That's awesome.
And that's wild because it's a lot easier
awesome.
to maintain that now than I imagine, than it would be back then because of what you're saying. Like, you just don't have, I can't just shoot a text message or whatever.
Yelling letters.
Yeah, literally mailing letters.
Well, like, are they still in the same area?
Yeah.
He doesn't know. Like, he's like, I don't know where that guy is.
I never thought about that.
You know?
Yeah, they've
Crazy.
managed to stay friends. My mom was just talking to him literally yesterday.
It's amazing.
My Uncle Ham.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Damn.
His last name is Hamilton, so they just call him Ham.
Dang.
So-
Yeah, I bet that dude's cool. That's an awesome name.
Yeah. So, how do you feel like it works, like being friends, I guess, in a digital age where you do have access to people all the time if you really wanted to? Like, do you feel like friendship is easier or do you feel like it's harder?
I don't know. I like context is like this is the second time that we've talked about this topic, and I was letting my sister hear the first time we talked about this topic, and she was like mentioning the like idea of like how you even like start friendships these days, and it's just like it's so different. Like you like can get connected to people like so quickly, and you're just like immersed in like social environments that are like a lot of times inorganic and like artificial with like the internet but like maintaining relationships in a digital age, I feel like I'm relearning that because I'm slowly unplugging from everything. Like I literally only have a Twitter app. I refuse to call it, but
X.
it's new. I refuse.
Elon, did you hear that?
The people aren't happy.
Yeah. I only have that, and I only follow sports accounts and Bleacher Report. That's literally the only like media that I consume, and YouTube cooking videos. And
Very random.
so like I don't
didn't
know.
that about you.
I feel like I'm like kind of going against the grain a little bit, but like even like when you meet someone, like there's times where you don't even like ask for their phone number. Like, hey, what's your Instagram? Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, and people ask that often.
I ask
I'm like, I
people
don't have
for their
one.
LinkedIns.
Dude, come on. You better be professional in your friendships. Caleb's like, I'm about my business.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm the best to ask, like, how do you maintain, like, relationships in a digital age? I think just using your cell phone to check in on your friends. I think that's like the foundation. I won't say bare minimum, but the foundation. Like, you have a cell phone, like, you have the ability to reach out to someone and put them a message that they can check at their convenience. Like, just be intentional about just maintaining your relationships. I think that's like the, I don't know. I think the foundation of it.
Your question was around the digital, kind of this digital age of connecting with friends, right?
Yeah, but I kind of don't remember what I said, so feel free to say whatever you want to say.
It was how do you maintain relationships in a digital age?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think people for sure who are in my circle, like close circle, I think there's, I just naturally I feel like it's easier to build that relationship just because I see them often.
Are you wondering if you're in that close circle? Did you wonder?
No, but clearly you are.
I mean, I see you often. Yeah. So
I'm secure in my friendship with Caleb. That didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, oh, okay.
No, sorry. I'm just saying, like, it's just to add what Adrian said. It's like a text message, like those are people I'm able to just reach out, text, whatever. It's like people that I'm close to right now. But if there's other people like on the other side of the world that are friends, I feel like we're still friends, but it's just a little harder to connect just because time zone difference and living in different cultures and so stuff like that. I think it is helpful to stay connected. But I think we mentioned this a little bit off the air, how certain guy relationships are just like, hey, you might not see this person for like 3 years, but just like pick up right where you left off as soon as you'll see each other again.
Yes.
So I think that's unique.
I also just realized I have on 2 different earrings, but it's okay.
I did notice, but I didn't want to say anything.
I did not. Why didn't you tell me?
Now
I didn't notice.
Now everybody knows.
Oh, that's fine. Y'all have on 2 different earrings.
Caleb doesn't have his wedding ring.
We're breaking all the rules today.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
No, that I actually learned. I may have mentioned this, but I feel like I learned from you guys the last time, which I was like, okay. What did I learn? Oh, the idea of like trust being built over time. Like I knew that, but it just put male friendships into perspective like way more, I guess. And I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense why he's always like rocking with this dude. And my guy is wild, but if it took a time to like build up to vulnerability with that person, and then like you just kind of keep that going. So that was something that I learned from y'all about male friendships. Hopefully people have context for that. Now
that you've like been able to think about that conversation and even hear it, like what are your thoughts about like that phenomenon of dudes? Just like being
First
able
of all,
to
phenomenon. Like, okay.
I mean, I don't know what do you want to label it?
Whatever.
It's a unique trait.
A unique trait.
Yeah, being able to like step away and just like kind of pick up where they left off. Like, do you have any like thoughts that have been provoked? Yeah.
No, I mean, I think I can appreciate it. And maybe that's like even thinking about my dad and my Uncle Ham, like they've been friends for so long.
I love hearing this name.
Uncle Ham. He's a ham too. He's probably not going to listen to this podcast. Yeah. He's great.
He could.
But because sometimes I'll ask my dad, I'm like, did you talk to Uncle Ham about da-da-da-da? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. I don't know. I don't know that I've like taken anything like that. It shaped my decision making or my thoughts in like the last couple of weeks. But it just, I feel like it was really helpful for me to understand. I guess I don't know. Do y'all have thoughts about that?
I mean,
I didn't really think about it too much beyond that, but you did say something right now that made me think about like. Yeah, my family does, like, ask me often, like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so? Like, no. When's the last time you talked to him? I think this year. And then, like, in a month, we'll go hang out and do something. And it's just like, all right, man, like, cool,
we're back.
We'll catch you next time. Like, we hang out and we do the thing. And it's just like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. What do you feel like is hard? What do y'all feel like is hard about those relationships?
Hard is not knowing if they feel neglected. And I think unless you ask, you don't really know. Like, I'm okay. Like, I understand, like, you're not always going to be in rhythm with everybody.
Yeah.
But, just don't know the expectations of the other person or if they feel,
Yeah,
neglected in that regard. But, I just try and show that, my love is unconditional. And for me, it's the same. Like, I still, even though we haven't seen each other in a while, we're still A1.
A1 from a day one?
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
A1 from day one. Yeah.
A1 from day one. Okay. What about you, Khalid? Are there things that are hard about those types of relationships?
And missing them. Like,
I guess I was thinking of like closeness, and because I think with friendships, I think there's also you can have a great time with somebody and that's fine, and but where there's like these long term, like for life, brother relationships, I think it's like it's built over time through experiences or hardships that people go through, or vulnerabilities too. Also one of them, and I think that's being vulnerable with other like men to men conversations, and like what's actually going on. I think that really builds trust, and it strengthens the relationship.
Yeah.
I was thinking one of Alicia's cousins just came back from boot camp for the Marines, and he was telling me about it, and it just seemed like they're pounding on these guys. It's a physical, it's a mental, emotional type toll that they're like getting in them, and the whole point of it is like literally trying to break you, but the only way to get through it is with the guys that you're going through it, going through that with. And I think that really strengthens the bond so they can all finish together as a team. So I think stuff like that excites me, like with friendships, or
like going through hard things together?
Not specifically going through hard things. Although I did say, I was like, man, without, doing the whole enlisting process, I would consider doing that 3-month boot camp.
Really?
Just to do it.
Okay.
With no commitment to the military, just like I just want to do the boot camp part.
I think that
that'd be
sounds
fun.
like
if I didn't have to
challenge.
commit my life, I think that would be something I'm into.
Which is a noble thing to do. Are those listening or
yes,
currently enlisted and veterans? But yeah, I think with going in circles here, but yeah, I think vulnerability. I think it helps for long-term relationships. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you have to have some level. I think a relationship stops at a certain point if there's not vulnerability.
Right.
I feel like all relationships across the board, or like it has a ceiling.
Yeah, at that point they're an acquaintance.
Yeah, like there are depths that you can't really explore without vulnerability.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all, I'm breaking rules on my phone. That's probably my
I didn't
mom.
hear it.
Oh, okay. I heard it.
I heard it.
You heard it?
I felt it.
Dang, I got it.
I felt it.
It vibrated, right? Yeah, it's through the floor.
I just...
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like something I am learning now, which I'm not a huge fan of, but vulnerability is not the biggest strong suit of mine. And I'm learning that it really is like a powerful piece in relationships, just in general. Yeah. But specifically across like friendships, because if people don't know how to show up for you, they can't show up for you.
Right. That's good. I wouldn't say like be vulnerable with everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I don't think that would be like the best thing to do. I mean, vulnerability, like you deep, stuff like that. I think there's just
that's a good word.
Close group of people that you can be with.
What you said?
What?
Yeah, say it again, Jim. It was good.
I don't listen.
Like they can't,
one thing y'all gonna learn about me, you gotta
back
catch it as it comes out.
Like you can't. Like they can't be there for you if they don't know how to, and then you have to be vulnerable to like.
Yeah, because I know I'll personally, there are times when I'm like, this person didn't show up, or like they didn't do
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, but it's like,
Is
did
it-
I
is it
ever
on them?
communicate? Sometimes it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it is.
I'm with you, but like,
But then there's the aspect of like, did I actually communicate that this was an expectation that I had, even if they're unable to meet it? But like, did I actually communicate that, whether through letting people in or like just outright saying like, hey, this
Yeah.
is actually what I need in this moment. But
That's
to
true.
show that you have a need, at
Yeah.
least for me, is very vulnerable, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So that has been something to navigate.
Well, how do you navigate? Who do you share those things with?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying. Like, you can't just be out here talking to the postman, you know? Like, then one time when I was 10, like, I think there's wisdom and discernment that you have to apply. But I feel like, well, I won't even necessarily say that it's always people who are responding to you like that, because sometimes people need to see that aspect for them to also then go that deep with you.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I feel like it's the discernment of the Lord. Like, I don't have anything else to, I don't
Right.
have other words to give it.
Right. Yeah.
Where I feel like God is just like, you need to share this thing.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm like, all right, I didn't want to say this, but like, I know that I need to communicate this to this person. That's what it looks like for me. But I don't know how to say that to the common, like, not common person, but like,
Someone
don't
who
know.
doesn't think about these things, like, is naturally, I don't think people think about this.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah.
trying to think. I guess people who are faithful in your life, like if they're
Yeah.
consistently showing up in the way that they know how to, even if it's not what you've communicated, I would say that that person, just by virtue of faithfulness, is probably a safe person.
consistent.
Yeah, like they're consistent.
Yeah.
So that may be something to look for. Is this person like faithful and consistent, like, and they show up in our friendship? Then maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm
that's
thinking
good. Those
too.
good observations. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes me think also too with like, I think a very loose derivative of that is like, how many people do you have like that in your life? And it's like, it's okay to not like have a bunch of like people that you're like going to the depths with, or that, you know, that are in that, I don't know, category or whatever. I don't know what to call it, but kind of makes me think about the question, or just the idea of like, you can't be friends with everybody. There's only so much of you like to go around. I just want to know, like, not how you like, I don't want to like downplay it to like weeding out friends. Like, how do you weed out your friends? But
Get
like,
them suckers out of here.
but like, you know, like the reality is you only have, you know, 24 hours of the day, and you know, like, how do you do it? Like, how do you like not have friends like with certain people, or not have friendships?
Are you asking me directly?
Yeah, I'm asking both
or
of y'all.
just in general?
Just in
Yeah,
general.
I mean, just the idea of like, you can't be friends with everybody, and it's just you're gonna like drive yourself into the ground. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I've heard of. I mean, I've known people who are very well known, quote unquote, popular or whatever, but can still feel, you know, not known.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that aspect is just. It's kind of I think that changes over as you age too, because you know, I think high
Very
school,
true.
college, you know, you want to put yourself out there and you want to make a lot of friends as possible. But I think as life has, with a little more experience, I think in life, later in your 20s, I think you start figuring out, it's like, hey, it's okay. I had a lot of friends, but where's like your knit circle where you can be real raw with, and people who will, you know, always want the best for you. So
I think this, when you were talking, it made me think of 1 year for my birthday. I had like a group of friends that I had been friends with for a while, but it was kind of like a transitionary season, I guess. Like I wasn't seeing them as consistently. I wasn't around them as much, like all of these different things. And I remember like I was getting ready for my birthday, and I had a friend who had gone through like a really hard situation in their life, and I'll see if I can do this without crying. But I had a friend who had gone through a really hard situation in their life, and I remember like showing up to something for my birthday, and they were there, like, and this was not that far removed from like a really hard time for them, and they were there like setting stuff up like for my birthday, like to be able to like celebrate me. And I remember the Lord just kind of telling me in that moment, like, and this, take this with a grain of salt. This was for me. This was my word. So this ain't everybody's word.
Yeah, come on.
But I feel like the Lord was like, show up for the people who are like showing up for you versus these people who I was kind of like, I want these people to be my people. And the Lord was like, pay attention to like what's actually happening in front of you and the people who are there in front of you versus trying to like string along these relationships that you've had just based off of a number of years.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like, I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? But I feel like the Lord in that moment just kind of showed me like, this is where you need to put your energy. Like, this is where you need to invest because this is a relationship that like I've given and like it's going to feed you.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I've had these relationships with these people for so long. Like, I want to keep this up. And God was like, that's great. And I'm still friends with some of those people. But like in this season, this is where your investment needs to be. And so I was just like, okay. And the dividends have been fantabulous.
Come on.
But yeah, I don't know if that answers at all.
That's actually a great strategy. Ask God.
Yeah.
You love God?
You love God? I do love God. In case
God
anyone
too.
was curious. We all do. Jesus, to be specific.
Christ.
Yes.
Not Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Not Jesus. Yeah. So, anywho, that was like something helpful for me was the Lord giving me discernment, one, but then two, just like actually paying attention to what was happening in the relationships that I was in. And like, okay, where's energy? And I don't mean it in like a woo-woo sense, but genuinely like, does this relationship require a lot of energy or is this like an easy... And sometimes it's not always the easy ones.
Yeah.
The Lord calls you to, but...
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaways right now that I'm kind of taking away is like, man, it really does make you reflect, like, you know, how friends have been, how are you a friend to somebody, you know, and I know within our community, our church, we've been talking about like friendship with God, and a lot of that has stirred like a lot of questions too of what, you know, that vertical relationship looks like, and I think a lot of that too can even bleed out into what's right in front of us too. But it's
100%.
it's just really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think life was meant to have friends, like, you know, and if you don't have a friend today, there's a friend out there for you.
I remember I had a friend who said, she was like, we don't have friends because we want friends. We have friends because we need friends. And I was just like, dang, that's real.
We do.
Yeah, you need people.
We need people. We can't do it
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow, we're breaking down walls today.
Yeah,
We weren't meant to do life alone. There you go.
not.
I don't want to do it alone. Like that. I mean, if you think about like doing something, like going through some of the things, like that if you take like just a brief inventory in your mind, listeners and hosts alike, like just imagine like going through that one thing, you know, just by yourself, and it's just like, who wants to do it that way?
Yeah.
That's lame. And if you are doing it alone right now, like by all means, like don't.
Go call somebody, text somebody.
Well, what advice would you guys offer for someone who it's been hard for them to make friendships? Because, you know, as you age, you don't have as many natural rhythms to meet people.
If you don't have as many relationships, one, I think you have to ask, like, what is what's the common theme? Are these like unhealthy relationships that are like with conflict? Or is it just a lack of proximity to people? Is there opportunity to put yourself out there to make friends? Or like, are you shy? So I think it's like, one, take inventory of like, what's what's the theme? And like, ask God. But yeah, I think once you can identify that, you can start to like change the reality around you will start to change, and I think you will find yourself in more meaningful friendships and relationships. Like, especially if you are seeking healthy relationships. Can you say the question one more time?
Just what advice you'd offer for people who feel like it's hard to form friendships, especially as an adult?
Yeah, I think that's the advice is to figure out why there's a lack of relationships, and like address that barrier or obstacle head on, and then once you've kind of addressed that, seek out healthy relationships.
Yeah, I would say
and that includes reconciling, damaged ones if necessary. Yeah, that reconciliation word is makes some skin crawl sometimes.
Yeah, I always been I have always admired people who move to a new city and don't know anybody.
That's real.
And
that's hard, bro.
And yeah, I've been in a few cities for, I don't know, a week by myself, not knowing anybody, and it was felt not fun, Yeah. So I don't know. I would say my advice to that would be find things that you enjoy doing. So if it's like soccer or sport or pickleball, or find a community of people who are doing those things, and then just start meeting people. I think that'll be a practical, easy way for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's good.
You don't want to answer your own question?
Oh, ways to meet people? Or if you
advice
want
to someone
friendship, what advice would I offer? I don't know. I mean, I know people, like, if you have a job, like, you can meet people there, but sometimes you don't always want to hang out with your coworkers, but maybe, I don't know. I mean, for me, what that is, what? You got a coworker story?
I just shook my head on camera really bad, and if my coworkers ever watch this, I adore you.
Not Caleb, Adrian really likes you guys.
I was maybe thinking about some older coworkers before from another time.
Yeah.
Not you guys.
Not the current ones. So maybe at work, question mark. I don't know. Maybe not Adrian's job.
You're right.
I'm good.
But we also live in a very remote time too. So like I work remote. So that is harder. I think maybe to like Caleb's point, well, to both of you guys' point, evaluate like what it is that may be challenging about starting, maintaining whatever relationships, and then like identifying with people around common interest, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to do things by yourself to some degree.
Yeah.
To start out, and that can be unnerving depending what type of person you are.
Yeah.
I did that when I first moved to Houston. I was just going to events by myself. I was like, I need people. And I'm an extrovert, so.
Yeah. And you learn a lot by yourself whenever you start doing things by yourself,
That is true.
So, but
I have a ton of fun.
But you meet people like that. I think that's enjoyable, fun.
Yeah, we got a few minutes left. Let's apply the lens of like, what's the, I guess for extrovert, like, it seems like it would be a little bit, you would have more opportunity perceivably because you're willing to put yourself in more. But as an introvert, like, and you're having trouble with friendships, that seems like it would be more of a barrier.
So what you got for the introverts? Because Caleb, you're an extrovert, right?
I lean more on that side, yeah.
Yeah. Hard lean. As your friend, I would like to say hard lean.
Like Big Mo lean.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh yeah.
I would. Oh, it got really. Oh, he hit the phaser on me. Yeah, I would say my advice to that is you only need one friend to start.
That's true.
And you don't need. You don't. Well, yeah, yeah. That's another
I
layer.
love God.
Yeah.
Do you love God?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Apparently, there's something going on here that I'm aware of.
You don't
It's a
know that? It's a
song.
song. We'll show you after.
Yeah.
But yeah, you only need one friend, and he wants to say it again, probably.
I thought you were gonna sing it. That's okay.
What a friend we have in G. That was what I was going to sing.
No, it's a different song.
Yeah,
That's a good song, though.
it is a good song.
But sorry, go.
Yeah.
yeah,
We got a few minutes.
you only need one friend, and that's it. And that's a starting point. You don't need like this whole herd of friends at your side to have or be loved.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
way to
true.
put it. Man,
All right. I think that concludes.
that concludes this one episode. Thank you so much to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
and we
all two
appreciate
of
you
y'all.
guys. For our next episode, stay tuned. I think we can even dive more into what do we look for in friends, or what we don't look for in friends.
That is good.
What do successful friendships look like?
Oh.
Successful, like healthy.
Yeah.
healthy relationships.
I got where you were going.
This is a transaction here.
No, healthy
Successful.
relationships, and
Yeah.
then there's a lot into that too. I think, yeah. So, well, thank y'all. I don't know. Y'all
Yeah.
have any last words or anything?
I think the hard part is like I don't know how to sign off.
I got you. Do we want to give anybody a shout out?
Sure.
A shout out?
Shout out to our listeners. How about that?
Yeah. Shout out to all our listeners.
We appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying to the end. If you're
Yeah.
still here,
Ooh, I have an idea.
We don't know where this is going.
Why don't you hit the clapboard, and when you hit the clapboard, like the screen will go black and the sound
All right,
of the
let's
audio
try that.
cut.
Hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me put this down.
Are we still recording?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
We got it.
Hey.